hello. Yeah, this is a bit unannounced. I'm sorry about that. Just gotta set up a couple more things first. No, shut up. Uh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna sign in on my computer so I can keep track of the chat a bit better. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Hello, generic. So, how does this have? Oh, there it goes. So I got 4 viewers and 3 likes immediately. That's interesting. All right, let me just pull up YouTube, and I'm gonna open up. Hello, MLG Pro Player 291. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I just gotta pull up the live chat on here if I can do that. Yeah. Go live. Let's see. Hey, Dawson. Welcome to the stream. 6 viewers already. That's pretty neat. Okay. Upcoming. When was that? Private. Let me switch that to private. I'm going on to here. View on YouTube. I guess that works. Okay, let's see. Trying to fix my camera a bit. Hello, Mr. Maximum. Hello, Andrew B. And that's cool. Okay, I'm just gonna get ready. All right. So, yeah. Today I'm going to be sketching just for a bit because I could not find my tablet, but I could still draw. And I figure I've been away for too long, you know. So if anybody has contact with Moonlight, because I know he's like subscribed to my main channel, yeah. Oh, that's what you guys. That's what you guys were saying. I forgot I had that. Ah, jeez, it's such a day. But yeah, if anybody has contact with Moonlight, it'd be great if you could tell him to come over here because I know he'd probably want to see me. I don't know. So yeah, today I'm gonna be sketching out the line work for a drawing with Sibs, and he'll be doing maintenance on his headphones, but they'll be like removed from his head, so his like um, encased brain is exposed. So it might. I'm gonna try not to make it so it's like disturbing, but you know. Let's just see. That gets rid of some of the shadow. Although the light's in my face. Here we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So let's try and sketch this. It's been so long since I've drawn. I think I'm gonna try like a side shot. Put the table up there. See, I refuse to use rulers. I was not intending to make it a pun, but okay. Rulers are for schmuckles. I already see a problem. Whenever I do a traditional sketch, everything always has a bit of a slant to it. Gotta try to make it so that I'm drawing straight down. I'm trying to think of what song I should use for the speed art video. He can't rule how my drawings will come out. That was so bad. That was so remarkably bad. Trying to think about height situation. So I'm standing up right now. Sibs is about a head shorter than Annie. So his torso is like up to the table. I really have so much that I need to do, so much that I want to do. But I really want to make the one thing I just want to make sure I stay in contact with you guys no matter what I do. Because y'all are so nice. And I feel blessed just to be able to meet people like you guys. But at the same time, I've got things to do. Every time I draw I'm drawing a rally track. Like, pretty soon I'm going to have to start working on, like, Common App stuff. Let me see if actually let me pull up on the computer a reference picture for Sibs. Because his whole head design was changed. And I want to make sure I get it right this time. Change it to picture mode so I can actually see what I'm looking at. Sibs. I think this should be it. If not, this is the very old one. Shouldn't be. Nope, it's the new one. Okay. I don't think I changed anything about the structure. Like below the torso. Or central shaft, let's call it that, because he really doesn't have a torso. Let's see. Probably gonna have to extend this table a bit. You know what? How about I actually try and being accurate with perspective this time? So, contrary to my original statement about rulers, I'm going to use a ruler for the sake of keeping perspective in line. Oh, I just screwed that up, didn't I? Oh, well, let's see. Well, I mean, oh, in person, yeah. I kind of have that sort of tropey look, like that wacky dude with the crazy blonde hair. I got a guy at school that doesn't look too much like me, but he looks enough like what you would expect me to look like, if that makes any sense. Alright. So I have 2 vanishing points. Alright, let's have the table go back a bit so he's actually working in like the middle of the table. Yeah. Because this is theoretically just a sketch. Well, not theoretically, it is just a sketch. But you know, 2-point perspective. I might actually be able to add a 3rd point, but I don't really know how to do 3-point perspective or how it changes apart from the cubism of the general object. That's nice. Just like here. Alright, so those will be for reference. My tables always look really generic, so I'm gonna try and fix that. Make it more like a workshop that would be fit for a cyborg. Oh, I know what I can do. I can round off the corners. Yeah, that's nice. Then I'll add like some bolts to the side. Oh no, let me actually just sketch out where Sib is gonna go before I make too many details out. That's another question I gotta bring up. What does it look like from the back end? Okay. Hmm. No, that's right for the positioning of the neck, but the cut is like somewhere in the back there. So much like math involved in artwork. Actually, if we think about it, he has to tilt his head down, otherwise with the neck. Otherwise, it will like he'll need like a slit at the bottom of his chin, because it won't condense unless it's like some sort of weird poly mesh. Which it sort of is, like how his face constricts, but not in the sense that the the skin below, like the whole framework of it would bend, and his neck is like a series of metallic coils that keep it in place, but they bend. I don't know. It's very difficult to think about. I I should have put a lot more thought into how he looks than I have, or into his design. Okay, let's see. His cheek along the side there. So his helmet. Ah, geez, what did I do? So the back piece of his head, let's sketch where it would be. Let's say it conjoins right around here. So the ears would be somewhere right there. You have to be smart enough to basically build him. I hate the way ears shape when they're on. They phase off like that. No, they don't. Because he's a cat, they can't taper off like that. And then his cheek. Or wait, no, this whole thing is wrong because I have to do it on the angle still. You gotta also keep in mind everything that you've previously done. So this is the optimal angle in which his head is at. Maybe I'll remember it a bit better if I draw the coils in. Okay. No. So while I'm here, sorry if it doesn't look like much of anything right now. It's just a lot to think about. Really comes down to like the 3D geometrics of it. Because you gotta try and think of it in terms of 3D, not in 2D. But you are drawing on a 2D surface. It's got that little green bulb for a nose. This is also one of those weird angles that I picked. Did I give him eyebrows? I don't think I did. No. Ooh, cool. There's just a lot of constraints to his body. Like how it can bend. Let me just check the mirroring a little. Not bad. I never trust how it looks mirrored. I think his central box should also have a sort of tilting mechanism. Let's see. Like at the base. Oh, you can't see on my computer screen. Whoops. Oh, and in terms of things I'm making, I think I'm almost done with one of my new upcoming songs. Yeah, it's a piano song. I'm trying to think of what I could describe the genre as. It's obscure to say the least. Challenging a lot of the traditional features of piano music. That's funny. No. Oh, that's better. At least on that angle. is tough. Okay, so it looks like it's in the center of the box. And the box looks like a box. But how is it angled? This is my dilemma. Middle. I really should have looked more into that perspective book that I borrowed from this one kid last year. He's a much better artist than I am. He looks fine in the mirror. I shouldn't say see because you can't. Jeez. I don't know though. It's weird. That definitely doesn't look a cube. Take this out now. So his helmet. Well, that was my problem. All right, so yeah, I'm find user on this chat. There we go. I tell you, that's the one thing that it's actually kind of like a gaping hole in his head. This is about helmets, sorta. So this one character I've made is a cyborg, and there's one drawing that I wanted to create because he's basically an entirely a robot, except he has a human. Well, the brain of the species that he is, which is an anthropomorphic cat, and it's encapsulated within his head, and it's like encased in a special like electromagnetic casing, and inside like bulletproof glass and such. But he needs to do maintenance on his on his helmet part because like his headphones stopped working. Like his headphones play music, and that they are basically his ears. So like I'll have him be working on it, but his brain is fully exposed. Yeah. I've never really drawn a brain. I suppose that's a good thing, but you know, now that I think about it, at least. Okay, so his other cheek would be somewhere over there. That looks just about right, I think. Apart from maybe his eye. Maybe. Although I kind of want to give this sort of photorealistic sense. Like if I when I do color this on the computer, I want to try and make it so that it looks super realistic to give it like that sort of ominous feeling to it. You know? Like, oh wow, he's opened up his head. Basically. That functions a bit better. Excuse me. Hello, Cryptic Crit. Welcome to the stream. So, let's see what I can do. Hmm. Okay. Erase in here. My phone was still fine. I don't know why I wanted to check that. Now. Yeah. Central shaft is about the same size. This is neck. It's about that tall. So I'm basically I'm drawing one of my characters who's a cyborg, and he's doing maintenance on part of his head, which is it's like his ears, but they have headphones in them and they stopped working. So while he's working on with them on the table, his brain is like fully exposed. It's like covered in some sort of neon green encasing or something like that. Sort of a technologically ominous drawing, to say the least. Anyway, I'm gonna keep the lower part of his torso out of the shot, so I don't have to worry about it. Although now that I look at it, his head is kind of small compared to the drawing I did for him, but I guess that kind of brings back that photorealistic sense. There'll be two different like types. Like what he actually looks like, and then what. It's the same with all my other characters. Like I have their traditional cartoony look, but each of them probably look considerably different in real life, or would look considerably different in real life. Yeah. I hope I'm not way off center. No, that's not that bad. Like, let's see. Maybe I could do like some sort of like skeletal wiring to his hands too. Because I didn't draw his hands in the redraw. But, yeah. I'll save the brain for last. Because that's probably going to be one of the most difficult aspects of it. While I'm working on this, though, I might as well introduce like other parts of his laboratory, to be proper in terminology. So let's cut it off. Let's cut the table off there. Give him like. Well, this could end up being a super detailed drawing. This may take multiple days. Actually, it likely will take multiple days. For one thing's for sure, though. Actually, this is sort of like on the end of his table. His toolbox could be like right along here. Yeah. His window into the main testing room will be like right above his table. And this will come up in that other drawing idea I've got for him. And it's like a massive room. It's like... I'm gonna keep it like... If I'm thinking back to some of my other ideas that I've had, like, in the past, his testing room where he does, like, all the major experiments, like the surface gravity blocks that he's working on, that would be in the... His house is basically centered around that. It's like a gigantic sphere, and this whole kind of arena that he can, like, alter the gravity on, do all sorts of tests on. And yeah, it's a pretty crazy house, and the whole house is basically spanned around that. So it's kind of like some sort of giant white orb with like sphere or hemisphere windows all around it, and like they're made of extremely strong glass, things like that. It's a lot to think about with this character. I really should have put a lot more thought into. I mean, I had brief ideas about it, but nothing like that I would seriously consider doing. And Highly functional, too. It's the main reason. I got the socket going on there. I hate it though when I draw something and then I realize, oh wait, I could just erase it later because something else is in the way. The other ball's not going to be visible, but his arm will be. My hands are itchy for some reason. Forgot to give him that little overbite I usually like to do with my characters. Yeah. I really wish though I was able to do a lot more with colored pencils. The colored pencils I have right now are crap, but that's all. But I also really just don't know how to use them in an effective way. Okay. Curvature, right. Gonna sneeze. Hey! Ew! Bless me. I think I have one of the most exasperated sneezes out of anyone I know. Thank you, Generate. I gotta try and emphasize its size a little better. Emphasize. Thank you, Kitsune Music. Welcome to the stream. Okay. No, because the what is it? I won't even bother doing this yet because. Or no, this the floor. Because the perspective dot is there, and if we're looking below, because he's above, like this the floor. I'll just add like a curvature to emphasize. Oh yeah. He probably can do that actually. No, he can do that. He's a robot. Any part in his body he can detach and repair. His mom programmed him with the knowledge of being able to do that, so he can survive on his own. She basically took all the precautions in designing him. Like, once they figured out how to preserve his life, she worked constantly to try and constantly better him. No, to better him. Forget constantly. Like, she kept working to make sure he could survive on his own because she didn't want anything to happen to him. And, like, by making him waterproof and by giving him knowledge that would help him in the real world. So she wanted to give him the best life possible. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. So his waist belt is like somewhere down there. Now that I look at it, it does look like. I'll draw the bit of the waist belt. Let me see what I did with the tail here. So it's sort of just. I have a clock above me, if that's what you hear, but it might be footsteps upstairs as well. Just sort of give it a ring, just a attachment. I'm also going to make it thicker. Oh, no, not that app. I'm kidding. How are people still coming to my channel from that? It's insane. I don't understand it. It's crazy. Man. Oh, my face is bleeding. Crap. Hello. Do you want me to mute? Or...
I'm gonna kiss you. It's up to you whether you mute or not.
Okay.
I'm home and I'm getting a shower.
Okie doke.
Everything okay?
Yep, everything's okay. I'm gonna get a tissue.
Why, because I wet your cheek?
No, because my lip is bleeding.
Oh. Don't make yourself bleed. Just come off this tissue right here, silly.
Hello, Ibuki. Welcome to the stream. The Scout Guide. Alright. Let me just compare with the drawing. Yeah, I'm actually going to make this a lot smaller. It definitely doesn't need to have this big of an attachment point. It's accurate with the about the size of the drawing compared to the cube, but the cube here is a bit bigger. So, all right, see ya. Now I probably gotta redraw some of this stuff in the front. No, that was the different. There we go. Everybody seems to have found me like that. It's weird how YouTube system works like that. They bump you up whenever, like, if one video starts getting viral, they make all your comments super popular for some reason. But as soon as that stops, it just drops you. It's like, what the heck? Yeah, I had a bunch of them. Though one of them I edited because I was like, you know, wouldn't it be funny if they give me 3,000 likes for just a period, you know? But yeah, that's not really funny. I was weird back then. Still I am pretty weird, but in a different way. Alright. Yeah, should be pretty close to the top. Now let's see his headset. How will that be shaped? I gotta make sure it's the right size. No, that's way too small. Let's see. Measure with my pencil up to the from the eraser to the T. It's a bit too big. Oh. What did Bulgaria ever do to you? Just. You know, I appreciate the days back in YouTube, back when I was getting top comment. Not just because of that, but because YouTube was better back then. Same with my videos too. I feel like ever since that that one spike, my videos have gotten progressively worse, or at least they're not as memorable. Okay, so. Still looks too small. eyes deceive me? Well, I mean, I understand why, because it's not a good symbol. And it's really hard to ascertain why it's in there. Unless it's like specifically historical. But I don't know. Even then, people could still get uncomfortable from the sentiments that appear in it. Things that should be like reserved for a history class, you know. Because it is a dark time in history that shouldn't really be joked about in an extent, unless it's like about the war itself rather than the sentiment of the Nazis. And oftentimes the symbol is associated with that. Well, it's hard to say too much about the way YouTube decides to do things anymore. But you know. I don't think it's too much of an issue, though, unlike the current monetization crisis, stuff like that. I mean, it depends. Maybe it's like from a certain school, and they actually had a problem with like, or they're like they had a problem with like vandalism or something, and they don't want people drawing swastikas. They're learning about what it is. Although that's a pretty futile attempt. Not gonna lie. No, this. That's not gonna work. Communist? Do you mean like the hammer and sickle? Yeah. People do it all the time when they play the Russian anthem. It's a bit different though. At least history views it differently. I guess in the prospect of it, the Holocaust was seen as a national, like, an international disgrace, as the sentiments behind it. Whereas, I mean, I'm not supporting Stalin's methodization or anything like that, but like, he was doing it out of paranoia, fear, and dictatorship, and he was doing it to his own people. Whereas, for the Nazis, they were targeting specific races. Oh, shoot. Crap. It's not. The thing is, Stalin didn't really have. It's not like he had a specific agenda against a specific race or religion that targeted millions of people in a systematic execution. And some of Stalin's deaths were indirect. Some of them were from war. Um, and then some of the, and a lot of it was just his own paranoia. Didn't trust anybody in his regime, and ordered them to be killed. Yeah, it's not good, and shouldn't be glorified by any means. But it depends on. I mean, we still have dictatorships to this day, but we can't shut out like. No, like the situation with Hitler and the Holocaust and all. It was supporting the belief that there was a discrepancy between races and that justified the systematic execution, and that is why it's such a difficult time in history. How it's so bad that we need to make sure it never happens again. Because at any point where you can devalue human life based on an ideology that can't really be proven, once it's spread throughout a community, it's like a poison. Whereas people know that like, I mean, dictatorships are different. I mean, not some dictatorships are different. Like with Stalin's, yeah, Stalin did do a terrible job. There's no doubt about that, and he definitely should not have killed all those people. But it's different in terms of the Holocaust and why it's sent and why the symbolism there is censored and why it's so much more offensive to do that. Especially since people could still feel the effects of it today. I didn't follow too much about the Russians. I know a lot about the Cold War, but I didn't really think too much about prior regimes or how good they were really doing. Yeah, the gulags weren't good, but it's not as bad as like it's a matter of atrocity. Like, yeah, bad things happen all the time, and Stalin's regime was no exception to that. It's just a matter of how bad it is in the grand scheme of things, and it's why it's important that oh wait, crap. I just erased that, but I could still use it. I just drew the ears on the wrong side. This got surprisingly political, so I think we might want to put a halt to it. Or at least the discussion. Yeah. There's a lot of perspective stuff on here that makes it really difficult. Thankfully, this is only going to be a sketch. All right. Let's actually condense this a bit. The glass where the brain is going to go. As if his skull is a lot thicker in order to fit all the wiring through his ears and all. The entire system, though, shoots through the base of it. And then just runs up. That's going to be his helmet, and his ears are going to go on the side. That's not good. Okay. All right. Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a lot of issues. Yeah. Makes me think about Sibbs's old design though, because I honestly think it looks a lot cool. It looked a lot cooler when it was all polygonal, but it was just so difficult to recreate. I couldn't handle it. I mean, I did it the one time at that one angle, but even then, it looked weird. Something was off about it, you know. Like I had changed it a bit because I couldn't figure out how to do it exactly the way it was before. All right, I'm just gonna say the other ear didn't really have any. Yeah, if I could. The thing about it was, I thought it would be a lot easier to draw rather than like having to work out the circuitry if you just like piece it together a certain way. But there were a lot of things that messed up with the symmetry. Like, I couldn't really draw a sort of line around, like down his face that would split it in half. And I was thinking about like the general construct of his face, because a lot of it doesn't work angularly. Whereas here, while it's all smoothed out, it's a lot easier, honestly. And it still looks okay. It's definitely a lot easier to draw. I think that's about right. Let me just make them a bit more thick. Yeah, doesn't look right. There we go. And I'll have the entry port somewhere in there. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a digital version on this on my main channel. I just gotta find my drawing tablet and then do stuff. All right. All right. See you then. Now he'll have like a sort of panel that goes up. That'll be for the wiring in the stripe of his helmet. And then branch off into the ears too. What's your thoughts on Lego Batman 2 for the Nintendo Wii? I have not played it, and frankly don't intend to, unfortunately. The movie was cool though. I'll give you that. I'm surprised people on this channel still like my work. No? I mean, I get a lot more haters, but I'm glad people still like it. Now, how is he gonna fix this? I don't really know what it's like to work with wires at all. Maybe he'll just be replacing all the connectors in there. I know, but like, what would happen if one of them is shorted out? Would you just be able to like, because they're all gotta be like interconnected. If a wire's shot, is there a way to just, like, replace that wire? It just needs to have like a starting point, I guess. Which I guess I'll put that right here, and then. I'm sorry it's not a bit more active. You could help him contribute to that, to the activeness if you'd like. But yeah. Hello again, Crypto Crit. Or Crypto Crit. Yeah. Oh, my stream is way behind. Boost it up to speed. Why won't you stay up to speed? Play. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna try drawing the brain part now. Sort of. I know it has two halves. I know it looks really squishy and bumpy. And it curtails, like, at the back to go into the brainstem. Actually, in this case, it'd probably be more like his brain would be smaller so that the circuitry, like his head is bigger than it's supposed to be. So that it could fit inside a glass encasing and the wiring could like peep through to his eyes. Well, actually, no. I think I'll just keep it like this because it's probably like the way our eyes fit. If our eyes can fit in that socket spot, then so would the wires be able to. So yeah, when I color this on the computer, it'll be like all green and black with patches and all, and there'll be like bubbles around it because it's like encased in like some sort of cytoplasmic like fluid. All right, let's see. Have like an automatic door. Um, Annie is supposed to be me. Um, like he's my main character, my persona, and yeah. Let me see if I can find a drawing. Just here. Let me look through my sketchbook. It doesn't have many drawings in here, but let's see. No, not in this one. I haven't. Oh, let me look through my backpack, see if there's any of my other sketchbook. Or if I have my portfolios. Oh, wait, no. I forgot I emptied out my sketchbook. Never mind then. Well, you see that guy on my profile picture? That's basically Andy, except he usually has blue hair and like a regular colored tongue and nose. I don't know. I do have a drawing of Annie with Katrina. I guess I could show you that. So my first drawing in this sketchbook. Yeah. So I drew this a while back. It's Annie and his girlfriend snuggling with each other. Annie's the big guy in the background, and Katrina is the girl. She's a species I made up called a Zolbean. Sort of like a cross between a rabbit and a lizard, but not really. So we're kind of just calling her like an alien species, sort of like that. It looks a lot better colored. If you want to go check on my main channel, Annie the Arctic Fox, it's a speed art entitled "I'll Be Your Blanket," something like that. Yeah. I'll send a link if you want. I just gotta do a bit of digging. All right. Okay. Alright, I'll just get to it real quick. I'll open another tab. YouTube. And there it is. Oh, crap. I accidentally made a little stream on the wrong channel. So, I'm gonna have to delete that later. Alright, I got the link though. There we go. How do I spell his last name? Let me check my notes. Should be in there. Because I want to put Kasari Innovations on the side. Because it's his mom's company. Here we go. Christopher Mavis Kasari. Casari. Where did it just go? There it is. There it is. Thank you very much, Cryptic Crit. Yeah, see, I usually do this on the computer, but I can't find my tablet today for some reason. What? Okay. Nah, I'll fix it later. Like, when I do the digital. That's gonna take too much time, traditionally. I'll just draw his other arm, give a sort of outline as to where his, like, tool rack will be. And then, yeah. just an Easter egg, like a self-destruct button or something like that on the side. Or I'll have a big button, but I don't know what it will do. Definitely not a self-destruct button because Sibs is beyond smart enough to know never to do that. This will be the zero gravity button, so we'll just put OG. And then the next button would be flood, for if you need to test some underwater devices. But it's kind of cut off. Yep. So he helps her with his own innovations. And wait. Despite being, how old is he? Well, I have to update my list actually. I last updated July 7th, 2018. So let's see. Despite only being 6 years old, he is far smarter than his mother could ever be with his access to the internet. And the only reason why he's in school is to make friends. And that's how he came to meet Annie and his crew. And now he helps her to make special innovations in like hydrotechnics, space things. And that's what this big room is for. Alright. I'm looking at it though, it's pretty distorted because I haven't been able to hover directly over it. Let me do a mirror real quick. Yeah, it's probably gonna need a bunch of fixing when I put it into the computer. Like I'll take a picture of it on an angle, I guess. A little bit of an angle at least. All right. Yeah, I gotta get to bed soon, so I think I'm just gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys for stopping by, and yeah. Sorry it wasn't the best, the streams, but I'll find my tablet and we can do more stuff with this later. Alright, see you guys. Thanks for coming.